guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome to the review and preview show, as well as Cian. We had matches on Monday, a full list. We'll go through them and we'll look at the fixtures ahead on Friday and Saturday as well. We'll start off at Dalymount Park and it finished Bohemians 5, Dundalk 1. Georgie Kelly with a hat-trick, Tyreek Wilson with a brilliant free kick, Promise scored, Sloggett scored for Dundalk. Bowles could even afford to play practically the whole second half, Cian, with 10 men against a Dundalk side that are just... I'm sorry, but they're complete shambles. If you consider the wages, the money their players are on, they still haven't got a manager. I'm not taking anything away from Bowles. It's still not easy to go out and put 5 past any team in this league, let's be honest about it. And, it's a great performance from them. Fair play to them. But, if I wasn't happy 2 weeks ago about Dundalk, I'm not going to be very happy now, am I?
No, look, I'm taking nothing away from Bowles. They were excellent in the game. They literally from minute one they got at them. They played. I thought they were excellent. Now, in fairness, now they're well deserving of the 5-1. It could have been more. They'd be actually disappointed they conceded. That's how bad Dundalk were, in my opinion. But Bowles were excellent in the game. Georgie Kelly with a hat trick. He's popping up with goals and. I don't know where the criticism is coming from. I really don't.
Well, they can't criticise him for this game, clearly, because he got a hat-trick. The first goal, though, and this is nothing against Georgie Kelly, by the way, nothing against him at all. I don't care who's in there, but there are 4 Dundalk players in there. He gets time to touch it and turn and shoot. That shouldn't happen. That's nothing against Georgie Kelly whatsoever, but I'm just giving an example. That shouldn't happen in that area of the pitch, shouldn't it not?
No, it shouldn't be happening, but honestly, they were excellent in the game, Bowles. I thought Georgie was superb up front. It not only his goals, his link-up play, being the target man, what he done. He was the main man for Bowles. Dawson Defoe really just lit the world up again, the way he's playing, and Tierney is just... I think the two of them are as good as each other, and it's very exciting times for Bowles.
They're different players, which is great as well. They're not alike, they're completely different.
No, you need to nail these lads down. Get them signed that. Like I know a couple of years ago they signed Mandrew and all that halfway through the season, so we already know you have them for next year. Now it didn't work out for Mandrew, but these two players you want to get these signed. In my opinion, I don't know what the contract situations are or stuff like that, but if I was Bowles, I'd be looking at signing these up for next season already. The way they're playing and so impressive. Really, really, it's just free-flowing football on Friday or on Monday, sorry. But it was an excellent game to watch as a neutral. But Dundalk were just, I couldn't believe it. I really, I was hearing the scores. I hate getting hearing the scores and stuff like that. It does me head in.
The game was over after 10 minutes.
Yeah, the game was over after 10 minutes and it's poor. It's poor from Dundalk's end, and just like the manner in which they conceded an awful lot of the goals was something that doesn't agree with me. Doesn't stick right with me. These lads are fantastic footballers. I know the club is in the shit at the minute, and I know everything is up in the air. But at the end of the day, this is their players' jobs. I don't care who the manager is. You need to go out and perform for your club.
It's my biggest pet peeve, Cian, when a team goes out on the pitch. I don't care who they are. But when the team goes out on the pitch and you can clearly visibly see they're not giving it their all. There's no way Dundalk players can come off that pitch and say they gave it their all. No way, no chance. Maybe one or two individuals, but as a unit, no.
It's embarrassing. Embarrassing result, but they'll be looking to put it right on Friday. Big game against Pats for them in terms of where they're going to be. I think this year, I think the gap now from Pats and Sligo is probably too much for them at the minute. But if you beat Pats, that can all change. So they'll be looking to win the next game now and have a reaction because you're coming off the back of a fantastic result. I only said it last week to you. You're coming off the back of beating Shamrock Rovers, if you got something against Bowles and then beat Pats, all of a sudden you're back in. But the manner in which they lost to Bowles is kind of worrying for me. And look, Bowles haven't been the best this season either.
Yeah, I mean, both, as I said, no team should be beating Dundalk 5-1 in this league, and include Shamrock Rovers in that as well. And again, well, fair play to Bohemians, great performance. They'd be delighted because they've played free-flowing football the last 2 weeks and maybe haven't got the rewards, but they certainly got them on Monday night. Brandywell finished Derry City 2, St. Patrick's Leg 2, Boyce and Thompson for Derry, Desmond and King for Pats. Both teams will be disappointed with the manner of their first goals that they conceded. Desmond got a kind of a back flick header, but it wasn't defended very well. Boyce was a bit of a mess, to be honest, in the Pats rear guard. Funnily enough, set pieces were an issue probably for both teams all game, actually, Keane. And it was a pitch, like, I know I'll probably get criticism for this, but it's artificial pitch, but by God, I mean, the ball, just 5-yard passes, Keane, you can see it bobbling along. How can you play football on the pitch with that? I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, I mean, in the end, I suppose a draw, maybe a fair result. Derry did edge in front to go 2-1 up, but I thought Pats deserved something from the game. And McCormick came on, played a lovely ball to far post to Billy King. Thompson's strike was a good strike. Came in the back of a free kick, I think, as far as I remember as well.
Yeah, it's a game that I'm disappointed at losing or drawing. You know, I'm disappointed Pat didn't pick up 3 points here. Derry were good, but Derry were solid. They weren't creative. Pat was doing all the football. You know, Pat went ahead early and they're saying, right, Grant, get the second goal. That's it. We've won it. And, you know, the set pieces in the build-up, like, I think there was a time where there was 3 corners in a row and you felt like Derry were going to score 8 in every single one of them. We just couldn't manage Towell, and look, we're not the only team to not manage him, and we're not the only team that's going to struggle against the likes of Owen Towell in the game. He was excellent. I do have to say, I thought Pat's tweaked it very well and put Sam Bowen in as a zonal defender and had Coughlin marking Towell, and it just kind of cut him out then, and then we got on top of the game. But I just thought that was a really good tweak, and it's something that probably isn't mentioned. We're saying we're struggling and stuff like that, and you seen the tweak in it where Sam Bowen was man on man with Towell and we were getting hammered every corner. But now, since we tweaked it, we stopped getting them the chances, and unfortunately we stopped getting them the chances. But going ahead was great. Winning it, getting 1-0 up, look, a bit of luck with the second type back header. Leigh loves a goal up the Brandywell, but you know,
one of his best.
Well, he only scored 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. The other one was that good.
The other one was unbelievable. Yeah. 30 yards out, he just drilled it. But now Leigh was excellent in the game, I thought. Great finish. You go down there the other end, concede a sloppy-ish goal. If you rewind it back a little bit and put it in slow-mo, I seen it and someone had it on Twitter or something. The slow-mo version, it is a harsh goal to concede in terms of Yaros they were all over for Innis. And the ball, I expected the referee to blow his whistle. I really did. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The ball went in. I seen Derry players run away. I did expect the ref to blow the whistle. I thought it was only in a matter of seconds, the whistle was going to be blown 3 out. So I'm disappointed with that side of it. But look, I stood. That's it.
Penalty shout perhaps as well. Griffin, far post. What do you think of that one? I know he went off injured, but that nothing to do with whether it was a foul or not. That was more of an impact. But you don't think it was a penalty, no?
It could have been. If Hennessy was the referee, we probably could have had 3 or 4 in that game. But you know, I thought Pat's done very well after conceding to get like Derry could have easily pushed on and went on and gone ahead. I know they did later on in the game, but that was very against the run of play. Like it was we actually defended the corner or the free kick really well in terms of having Coughlin marking. And it just caught us out because your man on the edge of the box, Thompson, drilled it in. What a finish. Look, I think a few Derry fans might remember this, but we played Derry a few years ago. And similar, the same thing, the ball bounced out the edge of the box and Arden McAneff took a half volley and I went into the top of the corner. And it just really reminded me of that goal for some reason. And it was down that end and everything. But a few Derry fans might remember that. It was live on the telly, I think, as well. But
speaking of Derry fans, did you see the guys on the van with the few beers?
Absolutely brilliant. Look, that
was class.
I absolutely love this thing. But you know, you're looking at the game, and again, the reaction from Pat was unbelievable. and bringing in Ben McCormick, and within minutes he gets that cross and puts in. I thought him Lambert was excellent when he came on as well.
But Lambert looks like a guy, doesn't he? If you can just sort out that touch, there's something in there, isn't there? You can see something.
Look, he has pedigree. He
can ruffle a few feathers, let's say.
Yeah, but like that ball was just pinpoint, and Billy, what a header! Like, look, everyone says it's putting a play from, but he still had an awful lot to do, and it was
easily missed that.
Then we went on to a little spell where we had 2 or 3 half chances, and then a great chance right at the end from Mountney, who just hit it over. But look, I did feel that Pats are going to get another last minute goal. I really did. I thought when I seen us getting a corner again,
Derry actually sat back, so it would suggest that they were kind of content with the point.
More
so.
Look, I don't want to sound big-headed, but I think this is the first time in years that clubs are settling for a point against Pats. We're not a soft touch anymore, and I think that's credit to Stevie and all the lads, because for years Pats were this team where people used to beat. We just went about our business, just winning a couple of games, losing a couple of games. We never really done that. So I think this year it's changing, and I think the culture is changing. But it's the biggest compliment for me in that game was Derry sitting back against Pats.
I think so, yeah. Derry, just before we move on, actually, Parkhouse still hasn't scored, Keane, and it is a worry for Derry because we know his pedigree and all. However, I did think he caused Sam Bowen a few problems in this game with his movement, didn't he? And he did stretch the defence a few times, but he looks like a player just isn't fully confident in terms of hitting the back of the net at the moment. I'm surprised they've had a few penalties, Keane. I'm surprised they haven't given him one. Just to get that monkey off his back.
He was kind of just rushing a couple of his shots in the game, I thought. He was, but fairness, look, they targeted Sam Bowen. If you're going to target people in that defence, it's Sam Bowen down that side. Look, I love Sam. I think he's a great footballer. But, sometimes people can target him in games. But Sam is dealing with that. Sam has been excellent for Pats and a Pat shoot. I don't think anybody can complain about Sam Bowen. I really like the lad. I think he's a fantastic player, great attitude. But, I think Pats are starting to really come into it now in terms of, like, I said an awful lot for me that Derry were happy with a point. Now, I know the start Derry had and stuff like that, but a couple of years ago, Derry wouldn't have been happy with a point. Or last year even, Derry probably wouldn't have been happy with a point against Pats because, it just shows you how far Pats have come. We're miles off, absolutely miles off, but we're getting there. And I think it's credit to the lads because we're going in the right direction. And if you're coming away with the brandy well, with a point,
and you're disappointed with a point,
yeah, and I'd be happy at the best of times getting out there with a point. So it is a good result on Mara, and especially we'll probably go on and talk about Rovers now. But considering Shamrock Rovers lost and all, it blows everything again right back open. And I'm kind of more gutted that we didn't win the game.
We'll get on to that later. We'll save that for last. Drogheda United 4, Longford Town 1. Murray, Doyle, Adeyemo on the sub with 2 goals, and Dobbs getting one for Longford. I watched all these games back, by the way, as well as yourself. And I thought Drogs were in control for the most part in this game. 2-0 up at half time, obviously. Longford, though, pulled one back early in the second half. And there was a spell of pressure, actually. I thought it was Dylan Grimes had the chance maybe on 82, where he just delayed it. And the chance was kind of gone. If he had taken the strike, could have been 2-2. Drogheda got a couple of late goals. Adeyemo showing some of his quality coming on as a sub, but Drogs just keep motoring again, Cian.
Yeah, it wasn't as straightforward as people to look at in the game, but there wasn't actually much between the sides.
It was 2-1, with a couple of minutes to go. Put it that way.
Look, Drogheda had a few moments of brilliance and stuff like that, playing really good. Top Mark, he was all over the pitch.
He looks rejuvenated at Drogheda, doesn't he, Kane, actually?
Yeah, I love it. I love to say it because this player is going right to the top still. I still believe that. He's unbelievable. I think he had to leave Pats. He was always that great prospect. But
he never seemed to fish or something. It was a strange one.
He was always that great prospect in a patch. He'll always be seen as that young player, even though he's not now. He'll always be seen as that fantastic young player that.
Right, he needed to get out, didn't he? Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm delighted for him. Look, I speak to him all the time. What a lad, what a gent. Playing there now, really good, learning so much off Deeg and learning just the experience you'd pick up from that alone. Going out and just Drogheda were good, but Longford were good too. Like there wasn't an awful lot in the game. A few individual mistakes more so than anything.
I think that's what's killing them a little bit. We've talked about Longford and said they've been good in games and they've come out of games conceding 2 or 3 or 4. That's probably clearly that's an issue.
I thought I look Lee Stacey back in goal. Good choice in my opinion.
It's funny, his last game was against Drogheda, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think. And then he comes back for Drogheda.
He
was only getting the games for Drogheda, Keane.
Yeah. He doesn't need me to tell him about the free kick and stuff like that. He'd know that himself. But no, these are the differences in the Premier Division. You might get away with that in the First Division. But look, Lee knows what he's doing. Fantastic goalkeeper, great lad, and he's better. Longford are better with him in goal, in my opinion. And look, the game.
Also, not just that. I noticed a few times he likes to release the ball quickly to the likes of Dobbs and Manley when they brought Manley on to play with Dobbs and that. And I think that's something that nearly caught Drogheda out a few times. Like, he's a very quick thinker that way. But anyway,
it's going to catch teams out. Look, Longford are going to pick up points. I keep saying it. They're playing well. Like, I would not be. There's a bit of a gap. Everyone knows that, but I wouldn't be worried for Longford at the minute, considering how well they're playing. It's only a matter of time before they get that win, and then all of a sudden, within 2 or 3 games, you find yourself back in the hunt to stay out of the second bottom position. So it's a tough one for them to take, I think, and I think the 4-1 was kind to Drogheda, but at the same time, Drogheda deserved it because of the last few minutes and how they played. It's kind of contradicting myself there right now. But
you're just saying 4-1, you'd swear they were absolutely battered, which wasn't necessarily the case. As I said, it was 2-1 with a couple of minutes to go as well. So, you know what I mean? You're getting a couple of late goals. Like, Jordan took them very well, I have to say, especially that first goal, actually.
Really. He was excellent off the bench, and he was great off the bench against Pats there as well. So, it's very exciting to see young talent coming off the bench and making that impact in 2 games. So, he'd be knocking on the door now for a starting position. But in my opinion, I think it's great coming off the bench. I really do. And
players hate that, don't they?
Yeah,
they hate hearing that.
He'll hate that. But
yeah.
Look, I say that with the biggest compliment. I think he's excellent.
Yeah, no, he's a really good player. Fantastic result for Drogheda. We'll march on to Waterford. Waterford 1, Finn Harps 2, Keane, and they got an early goal through Maskell, but then a Barry McNamee penalty and an Adam Foley goal within a minute. I actually thought they looked better in this game, Waterford, for long periods structurally, and I thought they were allowed to work the ball through midfield. I say allowed because I don't think the last management team allowed that, if I'm honest with you. Adam O'Reilly was allowed to get in the ball. Shane Griffin, etc. was allowed to get in the ball. They played well. Just that inexperience caught them, I think. They conceded the penalty and they kind of panicked then after that. Funnily enough, Kane, on Watch LOI, you could see it looked like it wasn't a penalty, but when you see the replay, did you see the replay there? There's another replay.
No.
There's another replay anyway. You'll see it after, but trust me, I'll put it up in the caption for people to see. Actually got sent by Finn Harps TV, so I'll give them a shout out as well. But the angle there, no, it's a definite penalty. He takes them clean, doesn't win the ball. But funnily enough, from Watch LOI, it looks the opposite. So it just shows sometimes. We'll give the referee and officials a bit of credit there as well. So, overall, great 3 points for Finn Harps. And Waterford, a little bit like Longford. They'll be disappointed with the result. The performance wasn't bad, though.
No, the performance wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Finn Harps just these are the games that they pick points up, and they need to pick points up. So it's an important one for Harps. It was, and they got it. They got the win, which I was delighted with for Ollie and stuff like that. Like 2-3 minutes of madness, and you find yourself ahead in the game, and I think it says an awful lot about the character and the side, and then to hang on as well. And to be so resilient in holding on for the 3 points, and that's a massive win. That can go a long, long way for Finn Harps, in my opinion.
I think definitely. Adam Foley was obviously on the bench and he came on, but I've seen a few Hearts fans make a complaint that he wasn't starting, but at the same time, they had to rotate a little bit, managers know as well if a player isn't fully there for 90 minutes as well, don't they, in fairness?
Yeah, look, I've no problem with that at all. And look, he came on and won the game.
He came on and got the winner. Yeah.
So, I'd be happy enough with that, but he's playing really, really well. And, I'll be honest, at the start, I personally never thought he'd be a goal scorer that I'd have my eye on at all. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't really rate him, let's say. He was always second or third choice for me. But look, he's proved me wrong this season, and long may it continue for him. And I love seeing surprise packages coming out like Adam Foley this year and stuff. But he needs to keep it going now. He's after setting that bar now. He needs to hit it every week, and I think it's working so far. So fair play to him. And look, he's proven to be a great man for Ollie.
What difference did you see between Waterford structurally in this game and the Sheedy kind of new kind of regime, I suppose?
Yeah, massive difference. We seen little bits of it against Derry. There was nothing in the Derry game either. In fairness to them, Derry got the early goal and there was nothing between the two sides. So, they were really, really hard to beat. I know they got two goals and our main one was a penalty and then straight after. But they were really good in the game. I thought, the way they were playing like they're mid-table, comfortable, nothing to play for type of team. What I mean with that confidence, they were passing the ball around like everything was rosy. They're not down the bottom of the table, and I like that. It won't be long before we see a few more points on the board for Waterford.
Yeah, definitely might get them this weekend. We'll get onto that a little later. But Shamrock Rovers 0, Sligo Rovers 1. Romeo Parks with the winner here, and he'll be delighted with that because it hasn't been great, I suppose, this season overall by his standards. Let's be honest about it, and I think he'll be the first to admit that. But I thought Shamrock Rovers, Sligo Rovers are much the better team throughout the 90 minutes, Keane. I really did. Greg Bulger in midfield, I thought. He's had good games this season, but my God, was he possessed in this game. He's lifting everyone on his shoulders, I felt at times, you know what I mean? He was getting tackles in, he was getting the ball moving, he was at left back, this kind of Gary Buckley again at the back, fantastic. I think performance-wise, I think he's been the best central defender in the league this year. Rovers, again, looked a bit out of sorts. Funny how it goes, you're unbeaten for a long, long, long time, then 2 on the bounce.
Yeah, it was a good game, really competitive game. There wasn't many chances either from both sides. Greg Bulger superb again. He referees the game. I think everyone knows.
It's a good way of putting it.
He does. I mean, anytime you see the referee blowing his whistle, you have Greg Bulger right beside him. It's no coincidence. Greg, he demands so much from his players, and he always has done from when he was at Pats, and I would say before, when he was at the likes of Dundalk and stuff like that. He would definitely look for more demanding. He's very demanding on the ball. He expects everybody to put in 110%, and he doesn't let that drop. He was superb, in all the grey sides, from Pats to Cork to Shamrock Rovers, you know what I mean, now to Sligo. It's no coincidence that he's
won a league everywhere, hasn't he, as far as I know? Yeah. I remember.
He has, yeah. So he's, it's no coincidence. What he's doing and how he plays is frightening. And the levels that he's playing at and the minutes and the ground he covers, I don't think you can match that. Anybody in the league can match that. Greg Bulger is the best in his position in the league by a mile. And I don't think anybody, not even Chris Shields, in my opinion, has touched that or even laced his boots in the last, I would say, 6 years. That's how good he is, in my opinion, what he does. And to come back last, nasty injury there with Rovers, coming back in this season, just hitting the ground running, playing.
It's almost made him hungrier, though, because he knows at the age he's at that his career could, in theory, finish at any time. He's one nasty injury away from his career being ruined, let's say. So sometimes when you get it when you're that age, it kind of reinvigorates the player, I think, rather than you get it when you're 21. And that's clear to see.
He's been brilliant, Dan. Sligo were comfortable in the game, but so were Shamrock Rovers. There was nothing really in the game. I thought Rovers done well considering the amount of injuries they have, and considering like the injuries in the game that they had with Joey and stuff going off. You know, bringing on the young lad, and I thought he was really good in the game.
Max Murphy.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought he was getting on the ball. He was playing. Impressed with him now, I have to say. Really impressed with him. But, you know, Rovers, like every squad in the league, they have a small squad. You know, I think Rovers have a tiny squad.
It's not as big as you think, isn't it? Not actually. Than you would have thought from the outset of the season.
Look at Bowls and Dundalk are the only two teams with a bit of depth, in my opinion, in the whole league. I don't think anyone else has.
So that said, from Shamrock Rovers' point of view, in certain positions, Ferrugia and Kavanagh is missing, and Scales plays wing back. So there's some positions they can get away with, can't they? But yeah, I know what you mean. Though in certain areas, it does. Like they have to play Gaffney and Green at the moment. I don't think he really wants to play the two of them.
No, but you know they're really good in terms of position. The position in the league that Rovers are, for the injuries they have, they'd be delighted with that. You know, they haven't really started yet either. Well, I'm taking nothing away from Sligo. They took that chance. They probably had two chances in the game. And, you know, they took one of them and anyway, put it in the net, and then they held on.
I thought actually, I agree with you there, but I thought Shamrock Rovers, say for 10 minutes before, they looked very open or something, like Sligo could get at them with the right pass or something like that. Did you feel that?
And yeah, like you can, when the game is 0-0, you're always going to get that. And, you know, it's always going to be a good ball away from leading into a goal and stuff. But, you know, you can't take anything away from Sligo. What a performance, what a win. And I think it was a real statement of intent going there and winning the game. Like Rovers now, that's 1 point in 9. So they'll be looking to put it back now, get a win now on Friday or Saturday, and I'll put themselves back up there.
The break might be coming at the right time for Shamrock Rovers in many ways.
Yeah, 100%. Like, look,
if I'm Sligo, I don't want the break.
No, but this break is coming at a good time for a lot of teams.
I'd include Pats in that as well, actually, because their squad is quite thin.
Yeah, so, you know, the break will do everyone, I think everybody, even Sligo, the world of good.
Do you think, though, Sligo fans are going to be watching this now, are they contenders? I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, Keane, and, you know, there's a long way going the season. They do have a manager who's been there and done it before. You mentioned Craig Bulger as well. You know, are they serious contenders here now?
When they put themselves in the bracket to be talked about.
They're the closest, aren't they? I don't just mean, obviously, in the table, they're top, but they do look the closest, don't they, ingredient-wise?
And I think I said that at the start of the season to you, and I said, look, I fancy Sligo to do something this season. But I still think Rovers is going to win the league. I'd love to see Sligo push them all the way. And trust me, as a Pats fan, I would absolutely love Sligo to win it over Rovers. But I just think Rovers are going to win it. I think they're going to come back to the addition of Richie Tower when he's back and stuff like that. You know, it's the caliber of player coming in there is really strong, and he's half as good as he was when he left. So, you know, it's tough to call. It's too early to call. Like it really is. Like you put Sligo and Pats in the bracket of challengers. I just think Rovers will win it. But look, if we can have a challenge, great, bring it on.
Like, as you said as well, at least point-wise for sure, the table is fairly close, which is what we were hoping for now anyway. Speaking of Sligo, obviously I think it's on Friday, after they got to Finn Harps Derby to take on obviously Finn Harps at Finn Park. How do you see this one go? Finn Harps would love to upset the party a little bit here, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think Sligo will win this.
Do you think so? Yeah. I don't know. I think Harps, it's interesting because when you get a big win like that, sometimes you come down in the next game. So I just sense if Sligo are going to win this game, they're really going to have to grind out a result. I can't see them playing brilliant football.
But they have the team to do that. They have the players to do that. They play to their strengths. So I'm going to say Sligo because the game management has been second to none this season. So, you know, if they can get ahead, they'll need to get ahead early. And then, you grind it out in a game management. That's where Greg Bulger comes into it. That's when Greg starts reffing the game. He's only short of having a whistle and cards. But I say that in the best possible way,
I know.
But I just think this is the real game to have your Greg Bulgers. This is your game to have your Gary Buckleys and Mattins at the back. And, I can't see past Sligo at this minute in time. But I wouldn't mind the draw now. As a Pats fan, I'll tell you. But I'm going to go for Sligo to win this.
I'll go for Sligo as well. I think they'll be determined to get a win just before the break as well. We have at United Park then. We've Drogheda United and Derry City, Keane. Obviously, we spoke about their results and Drogheda going very well. I think they've won 4 or 5 on the bounce. I haven't got the stats in front of me, but they've won 4 or 5 in the bounce as well. Derry City have definitely picked up, as we've seen in recent weeks. And this is a tough one to judge as well. When I say Drogheda aren't going to win, they tend to win. So I'll probably go for Drogheda for this one, which Drogheda fans won't like because of that. Yeah,
I do. I think Drogheda will win this game. They're in what they call a pilot mode at this minute in time. And, the games are coming and they're winning. They're getting these games in. And, I can't see past them. I really can't. And I think they're going to pick up another 3 points here. And people start talking about them for Europe now, and that alone comes with the pressures. But I think Tim and Kevin and stuff will have, the lads well drilled. They're not going to get ahead of themselves. They're a grounded bunch of lads, in fairness to them. So I can't see players aren't jumping through hoops, but if they got to win here, I think the whole league is going to take a look at Drogheda and start giving them the credit. I think they'll start giving them the credit they deserve, because I don't think they're getting enough at the minute.
I'd argue actually they're probably team of the season if you consider everything put together. If you get me, new team in the league and all that kind of thing. St. Patrick's Lady Dundalk, and the Dundalk fans will love to put me in my place, I think, in this game, to be honest with you, because this scares me now. I'm scared now. Dundalk can't come out with a performance like that surely again, and I don't see it. And that brings its own pressures, or not pressures, but on worries for Pats. But I don't know. How do you see this one, Keane? Matty Smith, any news on him? Will he be back or?
I'm not sure at the minute. I'm not sure.
Not heard a great deal myself. Yeah.
But I'm not worried about Dundalk. I'm really not worried about them. They have the quality and they have everything to go and win the game. We all know that. And you still have to prepare yourself for them. You still have to prepare yourself at Dundalk at the best.
Get your own game right, obviously.
Yeah, but you have to prepare for Dundalk at their best with the players that they have. And, you can't take your eye off it for a second. But I'm not worried about this Dundalk side. I'm really not. Pats went there when they were kind of half in the shits. Now they're fully in it. But, they were half in it at the time. With Keegan was just gone, wasn't he? And Filippo
was about to go, isn't that right?
Filippo was gone on the Monday. That game
he was still there, actually. Yeah, he was still there. That's right.
So, I think Pats went there and bossed the game for 65, 70 minutes. Then Dundalk were actually lucky to come out, or unlucky to come out without a win. So, it's mad how it works. But I think Pats will have enough here to win this game. And I think it'll start pushing Pats up again. And just getting Pats that 3 points will just go an awful long way. Like I say every week. But it'll go an awful long way to getting yourself up there, And then if Pats won that game, that's 7 out of your last 9, in a week.
Go into the break a little bit, reflecting on a good start, like a very good start to the season, then, kind of a thing.
Next good start. So I'm not worried about Dundalk. I'm really not. They have everything in place to go and hammer us. They really do, like the players and stuff. But we haven't seen it. And because we haven't seen it, I'm not worried about them at the minute. You have to prepare, like I says, everyone will be prepared to beat them at their best. But they haven't shown it, They haven't really kicked into gear at all. And I know they beat Shamrock Rovers and all, but they wrote that look a little bit. So I'm not worried. I'm really not. And I think Pats will win this.
I'd still argue having a clue what their best team is. I think Pats will nick it. I don't think they'll hammer them because you know, as yourself. They're not going to get hammered 2 weeks in a row, but I have to go with what I think, and I think Pats will nick it. Bohemians and Waterford, I mean, Bows will see this as a great opportunity to kick on for about the third or fourth time this season when they take on Waterford. But we did see, obviously, green shoots from Waterford and good football from Waterford against Finn Harps. This could be actually a very good football game to watch, actually, Keane, I think. What do you think?
I can't. Look, it'd be a good match to watch and stuff like
open,
that.
That's what I'm saying. Open football match.
I fancy a draw here.
Oh, really? I'm sure you're going to go Bowls there.
No, I fancy a draw. I just think Waterford will go there with no fear, and I think there's no pressure on them at the minute. You know, and I think we've seen that from the way they played last week. So I think they're going to go here, and I think Bowes might struggle against that. So I'm going to say a draw or a Bowes win, of course. I can't see Waterford winning the game, but, you know, I can definitely see them making out a draw here.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this game. It's one of the understated games of the weekend. I think Bowes might win it, though, just about, but it could be a good game, as I said. Longford and Shamrock Rovers, and Shamrock Rovers, well, I was going to say Shamrock Rovers, both teams could do with a win here, Keane, let's be honest about it, but Shamrock Rovers, obviously 2 defeats in the bounce. It's their last game before the break. Longford gave them a run for their money in Tallaght Stadium. It was a late goal from Rovers there that won the game. So, look, again, an intriguing match. I think Rovers will end it, the mini bad form, so to speak, and win this game, maybe 2-1 or something.
Yeah, you can't really look past them. You know, I know they're having a bad couple of weeks, but we haven't seen that for 2 years. You know what I mean? So I won't be worried. They'll win this game, I think.
Comfortably.
Yeah, I think they might just, you know, they might hit back now with a couple. And when I say comfortable, I probably mean 2-0 or something.
Yeah, not a massive win.
No.
Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video, and that's about it. Cheers, Cian.
Cheers, bud.